yeah, guess what? This is another. I want to call them kind of sunny Sunday, but Sunday Spirit is what I decided to call them. Otherwise, I could go like Moon Monday or all that. But I'm sorry, I'm stretch my clothes and get all comfy. Yeah, so this is just I just ate something in between and did some sage and sweet grassing and do this in advance, because then I will be like at least a week ahead or so, which I enjoy, so that I have some space if I suddenly decide to run off or whatever. And well, okay, well, just since I don't have anything to ramble, I also took those Nature Whispers card, or although you won't see them. I don't need to do like very, very long videos though, but I feel like if I run out of topics, which never happened so far, but yeah, okay. So this is the little red house there, the one that is out to the left, is where I grew up. When I lived there since I was, let's see. I was born further down the road. Or I was born actually in town. So, but I lived after I got home from hospital, I lived in a house nearby the hockey rink there. Which you can't see, it's kind of, it's a little bit longer away. Not far though. The other side of the road. And there I lived for, I don't know, honestly, a very short time, I guess. My dad was in, my parents are quite young. Well, they're older now. Apparently. Sorry, I'm so silly. Well, okay. Anyway, so, she was, I guess, 19 at the time, and there was no phones, and he was in the military training, you know. He actually, which I just learned a couple of years ago, was trained to be a firefighter, also to take down, like, burning planes and all that. That was kind of horrible, he said. Like, when they had to practice seeing, even in films, some got out and puked and so on when they saw those. I do this even for Sunny Sunday, trying to keep it not going on into like yucky topics, and I can't strafe. I mean, I can't obviously keep it very light. Anyways, so yeah, he said that was awful. Anyways, watching how it could look like if they would have to take care of some people. Won't go into details now that I talked about. Anyways, so, but just that, and also going into smoke-filled planes and training like that. So, but there is a lot always with everyone, of course, that you don't know. So much you don't know. But I thought he is an electrician, and I thought, actually, I wonder about my little nephew also, if he won't become one, because his granddads on both sides are electricians, and his little fingers, even since he was just some months, I don't know, maybe 6 months, when he tried really to do this itsy spider thing with his little fingers, and also he's so curious, he wants to figure out everything, how it works. It's not just that he fiddled with something, he really tried to figure it out. And he's so small. Yeah, anyways. But I never knew I knew he did something else as well. What was that about? But that, anyways, I didn't know. So, and she was alone with my 2-year-old older brother, who was really, really, like his son now. He's like so active. And like there is those Emil in Lönneberga here in Sweden. I will put a link to that though. They are cute. I don't know. I guess I was like Ida then. Yeah. Anyways. So what? I'm just listening now if they moved away. Yeah, so he was very, very active, and I mean I won't tell all the stories around him, but he was really, really an active kid. And also at winter time she was alone there, and there was no, I mean, she could go down to the neighbors downstairs. They just rented an apartment in that house there. And there was no, they could send letters, but no phone. She could go there if she wanted to use a phone to like knock on their door. But alone with 2 kids, and he was not home often. I screamed like crazy when I saw him as a baby. And he had to not show his face, and just, if he wanted to give me the, what is it called now? Yeah, whatever. So I forget that this phone thing that's out of battery. I'm sorry. So I screamed when I saw him. Anyways, she did a good job running after my brother and trying to nurse me at the same time and whatnot. But anyways, I don't know exactly when we moved then to this other place where I have the first memories that I recall, where we lived till I was 2. In the nearby little village then. But anyways, when I was 2, I guess then, we would have moved to this the little red house there, and you see like a kind of a large tree at the, like some branches from that tree there that was at the edge of our grounds. And there you just see like maybe 1/3 of it. It was really large, and I didn't climb it a lot, but I have some. Actually, now it stands there still. I have some whatever they're called from it. Those little things that hang on the branches. The tree's little babies. No, I don't know. I kind of love that tree, and so that was the house, and that's also where the door froze at winter time. So we had to hack ourselves out. Not in though. Actually, I don't recall. Well, like ice all around the sides, even on the inside. And later on, first me and my brother had the room together upstairs there, and that window at the top there you see. There is also where I would have those obscene dances with a whole bunch of children watching, and the kitchen was downstairs. But I was sitting up there, often philosophizing. What do you say? I was a philosopher, and looking out, and just, I don't know, playing. And also there was where I sat as an 8-year-old when I thought I have to remember this moment in time. When it gets tough down the road, I need to remember how happy I am. And also where I had those oriental, psychedelic, crazy wallpapers, where I sort of saw people in the walls, or also when I could drift out of this roof of this I always left through the right there, but I had my bed there, so to the side. Anyways, and my friend Sophie, whom I shared a boyfriend with, she lived in the blue house you see further down the road, and he lived next door to hers, there, even further away. Yeah, that's that. It's not these few. I mean, that's just a little bit of the village. No. What do you say? Not village? Do you say that? About a small? Yeah, maybe village. Yeah. Around 200 households, and this little stream is further down to the. You don't see this whole. Yeah. Anyways. There, to the right, there is further down. There is a stream going alongside with this little village, and also when you see the little kid on a bicycle, actually more where the shadow is there. Before on the other side, there starts this alley of, if you stand, that's what you say, but this little road down to where they celebrated midsummer, and where they were this kind of quite long road where you, not long, but for a kid, trees on either side, like beautiful. And there they had those dances down there, and always someone crashed into the trees, always the same person. And the daycare I was at was she is lovely, Annalisa. She lived on the next side of the street there, just so I could just walk over, and I did that a lot because she did just so good, all kinds of goodies and pancakes and stuff that were awesome. So when I got like soups or something at home, at least I said I got that, but sometimes we actually ate that, and I didn't like that, so I went over to hers and said that I just get soups at home. And she, of course, she was so kind, and still is so sweet and so beautiful, wonderful. And they also had this. She have a daughter that is around my age as well. So, anyways, what else? Yeah, and I lived there on that property at least until I was thrown out by my dad when I was 17. Or actually, I wasn't really. It was a bargain. He promised. He found some small apartments. They have destroyed those houses now, but I think I have some photos of that. Yeah, it was a mess there. Everyone, all my until recently, I guess, people just lived where I lived. It was like a, youth garden. Every kid in the universe just always was around, and not only that, as I grew older, also that was the case. People just had their home somewhat where I lived, and was not bothered though. I've never thought about it that way. So if someone needed somewhere to stay or whatever, they could. But anyway, so he found some apartment. It was quite nice there though, so I really wanted to go. But also it was quite comfortable at home with, foods, laundries made, everything was kind of great. I was like lazy then too, and I was free anyways. I did what I wanted to do. So, but he wanted me out, and also he promised that he would put up some wallpapers there again, where I moved to, and to fix what I wanted to get fixed there, so it was as I wanted it. And since he said so, I fell for that, and that was not really a good thing, because my alcohol habits and my eating habits was not the greatest at the time, or have never been though, or I mean, yeah, lately, but so it went too far down. Yeah, but anyways, and also to the left here there is like a hill, you could say, a smaller, no, yeah, well, not a very high hill, but anyways, where the forest is, and it's just next to our house there, or next to the property, and then there is some more house there, but for a little bit further up, and we used to, and in winters, you can, what is it called now? I have no clue what it will be called in English, but when you sit on them and you slide on the ice or the snow, yeah. So we would just behind our house was that road, but it's not so smart though. If you went from the top, it was quite high speed, and then you get right out onto the road, so we had to steer it somewhat. Not that there was a lot of traffic then, but yeah. So, and what else? Yeah, when I was 11, then this was a very old house when we moved there, just a house with a soul, and this is the house that I talk about when I come to that lighthouse house or whatever it's called, in the, I think it's the some of the Dorian Burgess decks, the Life Purpose deck, I think. That looks exactly like this house that I grew up in, and yeah, I just love the whole soul of this house, although the cellar was a bit scary sometimes. Yeah, but we were almost never indoors, so we were always out in the woods, or out on some ice, or out on the lakes or so on with a boat, and also you can't even see that, and that surprised me. I guess it's a photo as well, as some neighbor took this photo from their window, and that from our house, or a little bit further up there, it should be like it should go upwards quite a bit until the house until where Sophie lived there, the blue house, and so. But it doesn't seem like it. But as a kid, it did, and where I learned to ride a bike was there, and I'm sure it was my dad. Yeah, it was my dad. They hold behind when you learn, and we didn't have those. I never had those extra wheels and such when kids have now, but I was older then when I started to use 2 wheels then, and how we let go in the midst of that little, and I thought it was really steep. As a kid, it felt steep, and yeah, many times you actually fell. I mean, not maybe as such for that reason, because you learn to balance but still you try to get on the sidewalk there or something, and to come on the knees. How many times have you scrubbed your knees on that asphalt? A lot. Yeah. And it's crazy, another thing, also a not so bright topic, but I was turning around, not there, but in my mind as from our house, and then I realized that almost everyone that lived in those houses around have passed away. No, not everyone, of course not everyone. Not the younger ones, but several people that lived there, their parents, some of the parents of those friends of mine, and even some that just were in that white house, and that you see first white house in the next, to the right there. kind of across the road. She was some years older than me. She passed away just recently, and just suddenly got a stroke and was gone. And she have children that had just moved from home or like just grown up, and it's so sad. It's so sad. And I met her husband. I should go and visit him. He asked me to recently. That's just, sometimes very hard to understand why. But it was really strange to realize that so many already is gone. I mean, since you knew everyone who lived in these houses, and I'm not like hundreds yet, at least. So, yeah. But anyways, when I was 11, my dad, it was all this house then, so already when we moved there, although we have so much, it was so much love and so much fun in that house, and also where we had Tina, this dog, and cats, and lots of fun there. My uncle was living with us almost. He was almost like an older brother who's also in the spirit world, or he's kind of almost always with me still, but they also was sliding down the roof of the house there when it was snowy. Not me, but my brother and his friends sometimes. Anyway, so when I was 11, then they built this new, or side, we had this other new house that my dad was building with some carpenters and so, and we also helped a little bit, but and I think he can build a house now by himself, like, but I guess maybe he would need, no, I'm not sure even he would need some help actually, but at the time they were like professionals for that anyways, but he wanted to learn, I guess, also. But so that new house, they built that, so we moved there when I was 11. And while this old house was still standing, and I see that it doesn't seem to anyways, like we had those quite some trees that are called whatever, they have those very red berries that birds get drunk on, you know, on autumns. We had lots of those behind the house there, and I don't see them, so maybe I'm not sure when this picture is taken. It seemed quite some time ago, looking at what kind of car that is, and I don't know. Yeah. So I guess this could have been even when we started to prepare to build this new house also. I can't see that though, but it's more to the left there, so maybe we shouldn't have seen it anyways. So it was not exactly the same place. It was quite a large yard. So, and then I, as I said, I lived here till I was 17. Very uninteresting, so I really hope we fall asleep now. And the new house was lovely, and I still like that too. But it was like, you know, it's just new. I'm more drawn to, I guess, but not always. I mean, it was awesome. It really was. But I guess my heart still lingers in that old house somewhat. Yeah. Not that I was sad to let it see it go or anything. Or, you know, we get those also then wallpapers and all stuff. We could choose and decide everything ourselves, and all new furniture to our rooms, and all over the house, really, all kinds of stuff. Like even our dogs. We had 2 golden retrievers, and they picked the sofa because the color was the same as their color, so that they could lay there without like being seen. But they were allowed, obviously. But I don't know. What an idea. Yeah. But yeah, I have sunny. Talking about the Sunday, then sunny memories from here. It was a really, I mean, fabulous world to grow up in. Also, the other kids around were awesome and very sweet, all of them. We were different, some of us, but there was some kind of, I don't know, some kind of love. Like siblings sort of feeling, not really, but maybe like cousins or something. It feels like you have an sort of an attachment still to those who grew up side by side with you there. And also, my friend Heikki, who passed away very recently as well, lived just a couple of houses further down the road there on the same side. Or like 5 houses maybe away. Yeah, or something. Anyways, 6 maybe. Let's try to count the houses now there. No, but it was a little world by itself, having the store, having the football ground, and the stream where you can go fishing, and the forest close by. Everything was like there. It felt like as a kid, anyways. And also those, like, those, yeah, it was all kinds of things. It was lovely though, little world, reflecting it was like a microcosm of the greater. But mostly good things though. But you could like learn still, there were some darker spots, if you say, or some things that weren't, you learned that the world weren't totally bright though, and that's a good thing for a kid still, and feel safe. But overall it was super safe, and at least it felt like that. And yeah, just lovely. All kinds of types of people still. So that was kind of good to know that there are many variations of types of people and such. But as I said, we never locked the door, even left the key in the door, so that if someone would come by when we put it there if we were leaving, not if we went for a vacation for a week or something, but probably then we locked or let some neighbor go there or so. But it was like very open doors, so if we went away for just the day or hours, whatever, it was always opened, so that people wouldn't feel like, I don't know the purpose of that really when I think about it. Because, obviously, why do you need to go in then if no one is at home? But it felt like more, I guess, I don't know if everyone did like that, but it felt more inviting, and we knew everyone that would probably come, and so then they could go in if they wanted to. And that was also kind of awesome when you think about it now. And also this little village seemed to have been, as the rumor says anyway, been a little bit of a gangster village now, which is sad. For the kids at least to live there. They live like, they found those needles and stuff in the snow, and they've kind of occupied, as far as I understand it, some people have occupied a house there, and they have weapons, stuff, and drugs, and it's difficult to get them away from there. And I wonder how come, and also those that I know that still live there. And also I think there is not a good, talking about cleansing and all that, it's not a good energy. There are a few houses there in this little village now that have fallen apart a little bit. And by the way, also, one that I know, but I can see the reason there for it. But some people have bought houses or just left them to like fall apart. And I mean, as a kid we thought that was fun when there were some like a little bit outside of the village though, that we could explore, like ghost house as we call them. We had those little, actually I did that when I now think about it. I think with Jarmo, at least one little kid, a cute one, and his brother, and so we had this little ghost club. I never knew that I would do that, which I do now when we ghost and that. But yeah, we did that. I went into those houses where you weren't allowed, of course, because it was dangerous. But still, the energy in the whole area get affected. It's really bad to have those houses just standing there and falling apart. It's really bad. So I think that invites other energies that aren't all that great, and so on and so forth. But still, I wonder what's up with that, if that person is have rented it, but I mean that there is someone who owns that house, apparently someone taking over that house and he's not there, although there is another owner than those who mess around there, I guess. And one wonders if he still rented it to them without but like pretending that they occupied it, or if they threatened or like forced there, I don't know. But still, it seemed very difficult to get them away from there, aside from cops being there trying to disturb them then. But yeah, it's not good for the kids around there, and I'm glad it's not when I grew up there. So yeah, and it's very close to my house, I call it now, but that's kind of close to where it doesn't show though, that house, I think now. Yeah. And there also is someone in that close by village, if you say, that is a little larger one, where the school is and everything. We took like school bus, it's some kilometers further away, where I mentioned that I walked quickly during nights when I was a teenager and had seen like horror movies with my friend Roger, and I was passing by the graveyard there, and it was no street lights, nothing. Yeah, I had a quick pace. Anyways, we used to take the school. I was always late. Oh, I hated to have a time to like go up to that, around where Sophie lived there. Yeah, that's where we should be stopping. But yeah, to keep to that time, there was many times where I saw it passing by, just that, oh no, then you could walk or those kilometers instead, and so on, or wait for the next one. But it was not so frequent that those buses came there. But anyways, in that village close by there now, larger one, there is someone buying, I think also in this little tiny village here, someone buying, some Russian woman buying all kinds of houses. I mean, lots and lots of houses. Yeah. Well, there's interesting things going on everywhere, isn't it? No, but anyways, I'm not living there, so I don't really care. But still, I think everyone who grew up, especially if you grew up all your life, like in a idyllic village, like small village like this is like the pearl in I just love this place. I think, I don't know, I've not talked to everyone who grew up there, but I think everyone loves it though, who you did. And whether everything was so lovely, I mean, everyone who grew up there didn't have, I mean, everything wasn't great for everyone. For some there were a lot of problems with alcoholism and other things, so I mean, it was not, I'm not saying that everything was so awesome all the time for me either, but still the wholeness of the village was still awesome. So send some great bright energy to this place. Yeah. Also to whomever, for whatever reason, is there. They clearly have lots of troubles. So, yeah. In that house. Anyways, okay, bright topics. I will just, I will actually take some whispers cards because I don't know what to, I really don't know. Still, it's a little bit surprising though that, I mean, hopefully it will change there though, but I mean, sometimes how little the law can do, or how it seems stuck, I mean, the between paragraphs, or what it's called, I mean, it's like, I don't understand, because these persons, I think there are more than one there. Anyways, they seem to actually mess it up quite a lot for everyone there. I mean, there is lots of other people then living around that doesn't feel as safe as when especially I don't think people then leave their doors open and yeah, I mean, that can be, I mean, obviously someone can affect more than even a little village. I mean, that's clear in the world, but still in my little world there. Not that I'm there, but still, I know still people who live there, and some who bought their parents' house or so on, who still live there and is in my age, and so yeah, I just wonder how that can go on and no one can do much about it. It seems, of course, it's possible to do things about it, but yeah, still, since so many people are like it, I mean, they maybe wanted that. Obviously, probably they wanted to live in this pretty calm environment in a village outside, town and so on. And that's not what it is now, apparently. So, yeah. Back in time, probably someone would have gathered up together and forced them out of there or something. I guess then they would then they would be, what is it called now? Charged for something. I guess that's not something you can do. But still, yeah. Right. The first card is Be Gentle with Yourself. So beautiful. Oh, a little deer and a woman there with some flowers in their hair. I will pick 3 cards. And empowerment, that's really beautiful. I've seen that many times actually. I love that card. Empowerment. Sun coming up there behind actually in both these. First it seems to be very early before it came up, and then the empowerment, it's rising. And let's see the third one. Oh, here we got this again. Breakthrough card with those butterflies. Yeah. The card that is on the outside of the box. That we got some other time beforehand. Okay. And the first card is actually number 33, which is also quite magical, isn't it? Be gentle with yourself. Yeah, it starts like slow, like waking up. It's like spring almost, waking up, and then summertime, like this breakthrough. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Be gentle with yourself. A time of new birth and energy is upon you. Draw on the lessons you have learned to assist you in moving forward. Notice how you have grown and changed as a result of everything that has transpired. Gather information as you go and be ready for new adventure. All signs are positive for successful outcomes at this time. Awesome. And also, by the way, this thing I talked about, there is many, everyone talk about that now. Around there, it's small. It's small places. Everyone talk with everyone, and so on. So I heard it from many sources that people have talked about that situation. All right, now empowerment, the movement for respect for life. The moment for respect for life and all living things. Attuning to nature and to the creatures of the earth is at hand. Tune into the deep well of compassion that spills over readily to anyone who needs your help. You are being directed to take action to remove difficulties and resolve problems. Be receptive to guidance from wherever it happens to come. Don't be surprised to receive support from unusual avenues. Be alert to seemingly random input, which will give you clues and ideas that had not occurred to you earlier. Once you have picked up these signs, pursue them diligently and with determination. The potential for them to pay off is immense. As soon as you know what action to take it. Yeah, really crucial, not to wait. Also, when you get that inspiration, that's like a message from spirit. Inspiration, yeah. To act on that. And what is the inspiration then? Compared to impulses, inspiration is oftentimes, they can be calm, they don't always have to be, as I at least have learned. But inspiration is very high, it's not double. When there are impulses, you kind of know that this is maybe not a good idea, but then again, and that, But when it comes to inspiration, that is just this positive kind of flow when your sensation about it is just purely good. Although there can come in fears that want to stop you from going in that direction, but still, the first sensation about it, it's like, it's just positive and bright. And then you should really act on it before you start to think too much and put blocks in your way. Well, yeah, empowerment. What did it say now? It was so beautiful here. I like this. No, I was just at the wrong page now. I thought it was different. Let's see now. Here. Whatever. Yeah, the potential for them to pay off is immense. The potential for them to pay off is immense. Good. Yeah. And then this breakthrough card again. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, let's hope I really, really break through my chains of freaking addictions of food and shit. I'm tired of it. It's heavy to carry the load of that. Yeah. Breakthrough. The mindset. The mindset. Feel confident that things are falling into place. Just as a seedling breaking through the surface of the earth, you are going to experience an emergence. The efforts of your hard work will become evident, and you will begin to see the difference all of that labor and time you have invested has made. Count your blessings. You are gifted with a creative touch and the ability to generate new and wonderful things. Take a moment to feel proud of yourself for all that you have accomplished. Yeah, so that was those cards, and I will just end with that then before I drift into some other kind of but as I mentioned before also, that we were walking down this road further over here, like towards the other direction, let's say, and there it's like the upper part of this little village. And there was always like those field flowers growing, and there are fields just beneath here also to the right, where we went over those fences. You should like pick, at Midsummer, pick 7 kinds of flowers have beneath your pillow and that, and we did that as kids also. Backwards, you should go over. So, yeah, I don't know if we went through over 7 fences though, but anyways, we tried. I think there were some fences alongside. It was almost like there is also another Swedish Astrid Lindgren. You may have heard about her. She also talked about I don't know what they're called in English, those Pippi Longstocking. Is that name for her? But never mind, that's not the same. But the kids in the Bullerbyn, Barnen i Bullerbyn, they lived in this little village where it was quite kind of that. When I grew up, I felt like, I think they did that in that film, I guess, also, or in that series. Yeah, it was really lovely. I don't remember any dreams though, or maybe they varied from each year. Who was the one? I don't know. But anyways, when I talked about when I went with my mom picking flowers when my dog had passed away, or our dog, and I had her since I was born, so I didn't remember any life without her, and I was 8 when she passed, then sick from cancer, and so she was gone anyways, and they said she was in dog heaven and whatnot, and I kind of accepted that, although I was it was like shocking, but we were so very close. I was close, I mean, guess in one sense more close to her. I turned to her when I was seeking comfort or anything. She was my, yeah, I just, yeah, I've always been like that with animals, I guess. Anyways, more so than I would go to my parents or anyone, I was more strongly connected to her. Anyways, so, but I'm not sure that was true really though, but it felt like that anyways, that I had turned to her when she was so cozy, and yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so when we went there picking flowers, those beautiful field flowers, and everything was sunny. It was such a bright day, and everything was as I have described my childhood there in this other video about my childhood. I can put a link to that beneath also if you haven't listened to that, because it's this environment that I talk about. Anyway, so then I asked her if she believed in God, and she said no, and the sky just darkened. In my mind, in my reality, everything got dark, dead, and it just hit me. It was like coming out from Eden into this shitty, I don't know what. Like, then it hit me like, okay, it's not true. There is no dog heaven. She's not in dog heaven. She's gone. Nothing is true. Everybody lies. No one is trustworthy. Or, and the shift, it was like a lightning, but like a negative lightning, like a opposite lightning, like a darkening. Yeah, the whole sky, it just turned, everything was ugly from being beautiful, and all the flowers and all that as I experienced it. And I experienced everything beautiful, like the snow, when it was winter, the glitters in the snow, everything. And magical. It was just magical to me, life, I guess. And it's actually, or I came back to that anyways, I guess quite quickly, or I don't know if actually it was so quickly, but from the age of 8 then, after she passed, and I got that answer, I was not that, it didn't destroy my experiences of spirit, if you say, but still I trusted my mom. And kids do have such a high trust in their parents, or at least one of them. So I knew she was not lying, and she should probably know better than I. And so I took it for granted, kind of that it's wrong. I just realized that I had been fooled. Nothing was true, and everything was bad, kind of. And So I guess since I was 8 then, till I was around, I mean, not that everything was dark since then, no, but it crushed me. If she would have been in dog heaven, as I actually believe she's now, then, the fact that my twin sister, as she was to me, although a dog, she was my sibling, I loved her. And and as I mentioned before, it took me till I was like around 20 when I cried for her, and then I cried for a whole week. So something happened there that was not too good for me. I couldn't grieve, because it was such a shock, I guess, that the whole world was just messed up, and nothing was really real, and I was horrible. And so it took until although I had a lot of wonderful experiences since then also, and was connected to spirit, but I cut off that much more until I was, I guess, when I was around like 10, 11, so we were around with horses and so on, me and my friends, and that was going. I tried to remember what I did those years, and then I was also kind of destructive. I had this, I guess maybe, I don't know where it came from, but I had a sort of a darkness. I was drawn to everything that was not allowed, but I was, even before then, I was very, very curious. I wanted to do everything you shouldn't, and stretch the boundaries and see what's outside of the boundary, preferably. Very too inventive, you could say. And so even when I was 11, I was hanging out with those who were 17, and those who were in my age, I felt that they were small. I liked to be with them at school and so on, but but still, I kind of patronized them, I guess. I felt that they were children, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I could like cope with them, but I thought they were pathetic, I guess, or something. And so I preferred to hang out with those older girls, even that were 4, 5 years older than me, and the boys also, and so on. And that was kind of not maybe smart. Not that it was only that. I was also with some of my friends in my age, but we were also very, very, yeah, I started to drink and so on quite early, and I loved it. I was absolutely, that was heaven, a new heaven then that I had lost, I guess. Yeah, and that's the case with addictions. Actually, that's what you seek. And so I thought that I always want to feel like this. I was like, oh, when I was, I guess I was 11 then, and then that kind of was my focus for many years. I was even the children from Barn of Zoo, if it's called that in English, Barn from Barn of Zoo. It wasn't cinema there when I was maybe 13. I don't know what age we were, but I thought that's just horrible. It's just nothing romantic about that film. But not only even my friends, a few, I guess, some of them were more the sporty or more not drawn so much to drugs, but most of those I was hanging around with were that was like crimes and drugs and such. We tried to steal some cars or tractors or whatnot when we were very young, or break into stores, or we thought we tried to do what we could in this little environment. And I'm so happy now that it was not when the net was, before that and everything, because all the drugs you can easily access now, I wouldn't have lived for long. And also that would have been so bad. Even just you could, through some magazines, so you could get some pen pals, and stuff, and there were some creepy older men and stuff going on, and I can just imagine. We were laughing at them though, how they wrote those obscene things and stuff, but we often wrote letters together, kind of friends, whatever, but still, how easy it would have been to be like pulled into something like, oof, I'm really, really happy that. But still, kids today, they know a lot more, and they warn each other, and it's all that. So hopefully parents are very aware of things going on. Oh gosh, I go into the darkness again. But anyways, so that was some years that was like very destructive though. Or I was talking about soul loss. I guess I lost a part of my soul, not then when my mom said that, but sort of. I lost faith, in something, I guess. I didn't think of it though, but just it was just like turning off the light, and then it was off. That was how life was since then. And then it came back, I guess, also before then, when I was like maybe 30, I was even younger. I was always drawn to the occult and all those things, to explore those, but to the other less mysterious or maybe dark side, I was more drawn to that later, when I realized that since I got so clear answers from these spiritualistic, if you could say, practices, then I kind of realized that if this part is true, then the other, whatever those who went to church and whatever they talked about, must also kind of maybe be true in some sense. And so I came from that space into looking for, or opening up to spirit again, I guess. And and then I had a lot of experiences related to, as you've heard, that story. So then the light came back in various layers of colors or whatever. So now I'm back in the paradise. there are things to heal and get in face with myself still and so on, but yeah, I'm fully back. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I will just end now and hope you got something out of this little, I don't know, Sunday spirit. Embrace your spirit, or let it embrace you. It's immense. Yeah. Okay. Much love, ray of sunshine, filled with love to you all.